Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Kellen here again with Droid Life. Been a while. Good to see all your internet faces again. It's 2020, and well, we've got a new watch to look at. This is one of those things we're enjoying right now is watches. So Skagen Falster 3, kind of one of those Wear OS watches we've been waiting for quite some time to finally show up. Well, it was announced at CES, and the folks at Fossil were kind enough to send one over for review purposes. So let's take a look at it. This is the Skagen Falster 3. So we're talking Skagen, Danish inspired designs for watches, and that sort of transfers through into their lineup of Wear OS watches. Again, Falster 3, so this is the third gen. I think it's safe to say that the first two generations people were very fond of because of those designs. Very minimal, very clean. The issues with those two were, well, the specs weren't amazing, and you also had to pay somewhat of a premium for them. With the Falster 3, you basically match the Fossil Gen 5, which is probably the best Wear OS watch you can buy today, and then you get the Skagen design. So all the same specs, slightly smaller case, and well, yeah, this very unique look. So let's open the box, show you the watch, and we'll just, we'll set it up, dive in, and show you some watch faces too. So as we slice this open, first things first, $295 for this bad boy. Comes in a couple of different finishes with a couple of different band options. Obviously, this is sort of the black or charcoal with the brown leather band here. Oh, I haven't given you a tour here. So Wear OS still alive and kicking. Skagen there. That's pretty much it. I mean, this is basically the same exact package you would get if you bought a Fossil watch, and this is a Fossil brand, so actually makes a lot of sense. This is where I always struggle, is getting these things. Oh, there we go. I got it without struggling too bad. So yeah, exact packaging that you would find with Fossil watches. Here is your charger. So this does have rapid charging. So one thing the Fossil did with their Wear OS watches that I really appreciate is this. They created just a magnetic pad, slap their current gen watches on there. They charge, and they charge fast. You can get a full charge from 0 to 100%, I think like an hour. This watch that I'm wearing here, this Samsung thing, it takes like 3 hours, I swear, to go from 0 to that. What else do we have in here? Nothing on this side. Take the watch out. So here is the watch with well, there's a sticker. Let's take that off. So again, design very minimal, fully round casing there, 42 millimeters. So the Gen 5, I believe, is 43 or 4, somewhere in there. This is 42 millimeters, so it's slightly smaller. You still have the 3 pushers and also a rotating crown, so you can navigate a little bit, but you still got all 3 buttons there. 11 millimeters thick here, 22 millimeter straps here, and these are interchangeable. I know it doesn't really look like it. It looks like this leather might be wrapping around there, but you can't actually quick release those and swap those with any 22 millimeters. 1 gig RAM, 8 gig storage. Those are kind of the big important things here. When we talk about Wear OS now, we sort of came to the realization over the last year that if you don't have a gig of RAM, it just can't really handle daily activities. You see issues with performance, hiccups, all of that stuff. You get a gig of RAM in here, and it's actually not a terrible experience. Again, the Fossil Gen 5 was one of the first to introduce that. Actually, the Mont Blanc Summit 2 was the first, and that's a pretty solid watch, just $1,000 watch. These things are now under $300, and you sort of get that same performance. So anyways, I'm going to set it up real quick, get to some watch faces, throw it on the wrist, all of that stuff. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, watch all set up, my accounts, all that stuff on it, walk through the entire process. So this is the Skagen Falster 3 now, ready to go. A couple of things I didn't mention, specs, obviously heart rate monitor, GPS in there, NFC, so all that stuff. I don't have a battery capacity for you on hand, but they're expecting 24-hour battery life, basically like any Wear OS watch. But again, it's very much like Gen 5. Gig of RAM, which is the most important, 8 gig storage, 42 millimeter case, 22 millimeter bands, NFC, heart rate, GPS, full circle AMOLED display, rapid charging. Here's the charger. So I think I was actually showing you the back side of this initially. This is actually the side that you charge on. So these little pins, they just match up within those rings. And when you slap it on those, it kind of holds a little bit in place, and it then charges. So anyway, fast charging. So 0 to 80% in about 50 minutes. So again, about an hour, and you'll get a full charge. So anyways, here is the watch. So this version is sort of this sort of charcoal or black, comes with the leather band, which is actually rubber on the inside. So you could wear it for just about any occasion here, working out, dressing up, whatever. There's also sort of a metal mesh version, and then you can buy one that comes with a blue rubber strap with no leather at all. Some of those versions also come with a silver case versus this black. You can take calls on this. It does have a speaker. It's one of those new things. As far as software goes, Wear OS has not changed in a while. But one thing to point out, since this is a sort of Fossil Gen 5 platform here, you do get the new battery modes that came with that. So battery modes, you have daily mode, extended mode, time only mode, and I believe the last one is custom. So what are those? Well, Fossil, because Google refuses to actually provide new features to its watch platform, Fossil has done that, and it created these watch modes. So daily is kind of like the mode you might be in all the time. Extended starts shutting things off to really give you that extended battery. Time only really just turns everything off. Your watch goes into a time only mode. I think it even reboots when you do that, so keep that in mind. Custom is typically what I've run my Gen 5 on. And what's cool about custom is you can tweak a bunch of different stuff. So you really get to decide what you want on, what you don't want on, like Wi-Fi, things like that, location, that sort of thing. So let me actually go back in there. So if we tap on custom, I forgot you actually have to tweak everything first. So I can say, well, I want my always on display on. I want system sound on. I don't need Wi-Fi. Location, sure. Phone audio, turn that off or on. Touch to wake, I do want that. I don't want tilt to wake. NFC, not going to make any payments anytime soon. Okay, Google detection. You can change all of that stuff. And then Bluetooth, it schedules to be on from... Thank you. Yeah. The time there where Bluetooth will be on from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So it'll actually turn that off at night. And here's all the other stuff. Heart rate is on, activity tracking on, all that stuff. So custom mode is kind of what I usually run. But there are battery modes, which is something that Fossil has done. What else? You guys probably want to see watch faces. So being Skagen and design is obviously a big deal with them. So here are some watch faces that come with it out of the box. I haven't installed any. So you have obviously some pretty minimal looks. This is sort of that classic Skagen one. I believe this was on the first two watches they released as well. So there's a look at that. Always on display, obviously. This is that watch face that comes out of the box, but mostly just very, very minimal stuff, which is kind of what we would expect from them. So not a ton, but very minimal. This one's kind of cool. This night sky actually is sort of a live watch face where you can actually see the stars moving around in the background, which is kind of cool. I promise that will focus one day. There you go. Can't really see it there. Tough to see. But anyway, so very minimal stuff. As far as the rest, though, I mean, it's Wear OS watch. Here it is on my wrist. As you can see, 42 millimeter is not large. Actually, a really nice watch size for, I would say, most people. Samsung does make a 40 millimeter in their Watch Active 2, which is on the smaller side, and some with really small wrists might approve of that more. But 42 millimeters is a really great size, especially with this design. There's how it sort of lays on the wrist. It's sort of tall, sort of a proud watch. Overall, though, pretty slick looking. I mean, this is, again, one of those we've been kind of waiting for a while. If you want to see size comparison, here is here's the Fossil Gen 5. So right next to it, 44 millimeter here, 42 millimeter. Not going to be a ton of difference here, especially because from top to bottom, these lugs actually look like they spread out quite a bit. So you have a 42 millimeter case here, but the lugs kind of add that width to it on wrist. So it's almost the same as the Gen 5. As far as thickness goes, fairly equal there as well. See that? Again, specs are almost identical. And then the watch that I've been wearing the most lately is this guy, Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. Still believe it's the best smartwatch you can buy today for Android, but I'm interested to get some Wear OS time again with this new Skagen. So this is a 44 millimeter and this is 42, but you can see again those lugs kind of make it spread out a little bit more. Here they are from the side. Get a look there. So that's pretty much it. Just was a somewhat overly done unboxing here of this new Wear OS watch. Again, it comes in a bunch of different sizes, $295. You can buy it now from Skagen site, from Amazon, from wherever, anyone that sells it. So comments, questions, let us know. We are Droid Life. Peace.